What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Saturday, July 18, 2026, and we are here once again at the Kaagbaan, runway 06, primary runway for arrivals. Hopefully for the upcoming hours. Don't know for sure yet because Bezoekbus did not update yet, but for the time being and in the last couple of hours it was one of the two runways in use, just like it was on previous days. Fingers crossed. Yesterday morning, in the early morning, they had a low ceiling here, less than 2,000 feet, and parallel runways were in use, the 3-6 runways, and I wasn't sure if it was going to open up more or not. In the end it did. Later in the afternoon, once again they reverted back to using the 3-6 runways. Hopefully not the same will happen today, but we'll see. The swans are still here, as you could see. A pair of swans and their 6 little swanlings. Not sure what to call them. The first arrival of the show is Air Arabia Morocco flight 121, arriving from Nador, which is in the north, I think, of Morocco. Is it? Or is it more to the south? It is in Morocco, which is in the north of Africa. Stream deck is working again. Found a solution after last stream. It turns out that there was an update of the Mac OS on my MacBook, and that both EHAM Live and the software of the Stream Deck needed to be given clearance to a local network. In other words, 2 switches that I had to turn in a menu and everything was functional again. Thanks Gemini AI for that. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Marja, goedenavond. Wolfgang, good morning, mate. And welcome to the show, all others who've joined. Jörg, good to see you again. Hope all is well in Düsseldorf. JP Kraus, good morning. Ari, goedemorgen. Ari says runways are 6 at least until 4:20. That's good news. If that's not going to change, of course. The wind is from the north, more or less, which means that this runway is not exactly ideal to be landing on. It is pretty crosswindy. The wind is blowing away from where we are standing versus the runway heading, which means the airplanes are crabbing, but it looks like they're looking away from us. They have crosswind from their left, which means that the airplanes are facing a bit more to the right, filming them from here. BA up next, flight 430, arriving from London Heathrow, A320neo, EasyJet, A321neo should be somewhere behind it, arriving from Chester. Yeah, visible. So as you guys can see, it is cloudy over here, overcast, bit cooler. I'm dressed with jeans and my AMS Live hoodie. That is adequate with the wind blowing. Definitely feels cooler than it did a couple of days back, but not cold. It's nice. It's doable. In the meantime, a very good morning to all others who have joined. Sander, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Yayodi, Mickey, good morning. Leo, goedemorgen. Erin, JP Kraus. Clouds on YouTube, good morning. Ramon, goedemorgen. Paul, goedemorgen. So I was setting up a KLM 747 headed off to Polderbaan or Center. Not sure if it took off already. KLM 747 was moving out. Bobbers, good morning. Maxwell, good morning. Captain Jerry is also back. It's his 64th birthday today. The Beatles asked, will you still love me? Will you still need me when I'm 64? 64 years old. Congratulations, Captain Jerry. Thank you for the super chat. You should be the one getting super chats today. Happy birthday, my friend. It's good to see you again. Congratulations. I hope you have a great day today. It's still earlier in your neck of the woods, so an entire day ahead of you. And now my chat window seems to have frozen a little. Maxime, goedemorgen. Okay. I think I'm back at the end of the chat. Honda, goedemorgen. Richard, goedemorgen. Ramon, goedemorgen. Monzi, goedemorgen. Good morning. WVD, goedemorgen. Good morning. Dick, goedemorgen. Right, I think that the chat is working again. Alright, EasyJet, flight 22161, arriving from Persenchester, A321 Neo. And touchdown. Peter, goedemorgen. Jens, goedemorgen. Jasper, goedemorgen. Bit of wind. It's a bit breezy. Goods are over there. Gary Grebe was here as well. I'm not sure where he went to. Daisy and her friend. Of course, the swans are also still over there. The 6 young ones. Made their debut appearance here the day before yesterday. Absolutely lovely to see. I think Gary Grebe is swimming over there. Yeah, that's Gary Grebe, alright. And who's there? That's Curtis Coote, probably. More quackers over there. I think these are geese, or are they? Yeah, they certainly look to be geese. We're waiting for the next arrival, which should be a TUI Dreamliner arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, after which a Dreamliner from United will be appearing, coming in from San Francisco. Kaagbaan and later center, or no, wait, center now already as well. Parallel departures in progress. The normal runway configuration, as it were, when the wind is blowing from the north, which it is. So departures from center and from Kaagbaan. Here's one departure from the center runway. Also looks like there's a busiest turning in, approaching 36 right. That is an AMC Aviation airplane arriving from Warsaw, Learjet 60XR. Interesting. Let's see if we can catch a glimpse of that. Looks to be arriving here more or less simultaneously with the Dreamliner from TUI. I'm not sure if I'm already able to see it from here. If it is visible, it's probably somewhere in the vicinity of the building over there. At least that's where I'm now scanning to see if I can spot a very teeny tiny little airplane. I'm not succeeding in finding it yet. Looking to my right, do I already see the Dreamliner? I think I do see the vague contours of the Dreamliner coming this way. Still pretty vague, so imagine what a small Learjet would look like. One can only hope that they turn on their landing lights early so that you are more easily able to find them. Yeah, and this is not working. Let's turn back, have a look at the Dreamliner instead, because that at least I can find in the sky. Or can I? Yeah, there it is. Good morning, Cherry. Good morning, Flixa. Good morning, Briefcase. Captain Jerry says, ahoy, I don't feel a year older. I started watching you at 61. You're right. 3 years ago already. 3.5? Almost 4. The channel will turn 4, well, depending on the way you look at it, either in October or in November. October is when I registered the website, and end of November is when I first started publishing content. 61, still a young lad. And now, of course, still young. Most people always stay young at heart. It's just that their bodies are gradually starting to fail them. At least that's my experience with older people that I have around me. Usually, mentally, they all still want to do stuff. It's usually their bodies that slowly but surely becomes more hesitant. Starts to object. I do have the Learjet. Just a quick glimpse of it. Here it is. Not a very spectacular livery, but still. One last glimpse. And gone. And over to the next. To Dreamliner, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, flight 393, 7878 Dreamliner, 8 hours 53 minutes underway. Papa Hotel, Tango Foxtrot, Mike, 11 years old. Good morning to all who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and this is the Kaagbaan Roamer 6 primary roaming for arrivals today. Stefan, goedemorgen. Hans, goedemorgen. Bobbers, good morning and thank you so much for your generosity and kind words, Bobbers. Bobbers super chatted, great start to the weekend with Boy and his banter and the planes. Well, feel free to chime in, mate. It's only banter if more people are interacting with one another, so feel free to come up with jokes and funny remarks. It's one of those things that makes this crowd unique, is the banter. So keep it coming, Bobbers, and all the others. And thank you so much for the kind words, Bobbers, and for the super chat. You really didn't have to use the super chat to get your message across, though. Thank you so much. Matt, goedemorgen. Piotrek, goedemorgen. My chat window. Oh yeah, now it's going down again. Matt, goedemorgen. Piotrek, goedemorgen. Good morning. Mark H, good morning. Herzlich willkommen. Koos, goedemorgen. Fritz, guten Morgen. Und herzlich willkommen, liebe deutsch sprechende Freunde. Flixav asks, what's the average age here? I don't think you want to know, mate. This is geriatric TV on YouTube. I think throughout the lifespan of AMS Live, 2/3 of the viewers have been 55 or older. South Island Aviation, good morning, mate. This is United Airlines flight 968 arriving from San Francisco. Pensioners and near pensioners. But young at heart and with a good sense of humor. Gary Grebe, Mother Ducker. Isn't it about time? We're waiting. Come on. There's a camera pointed at you. You know what to do. That's surprising, isn't it? Eddie, goedemorgen. Piotrek, Primorka. Stefan van Hazel celebrating 24 months of membership. A blue badge for him. No accompanying text along with the highlighted message. But that's okay, Stefan. Thank you so much for your long-lasting support. 2 years. That is a big feat. A new badge for you from now on. Hope that everything thus far in the lounge has been to your satisfaction. If that's not the case, do let me know what you feel needs to be changed and I'll see what I can do to make it better. Stefan van Hezel, 24 months a member. Blue badge for him from now on for a year. Congratulations and thank you so much for your long-lasting support, mate. Marjan, goedemorgen. Sander Shinobi Super Chat's going to have 3 some part baked breads with cheese, then I'll grace you all with my presents. Hey, that sounds like cheese toasties or grilled cheese sandwich. That sounds great. Curry ketchup is what I always put on them for extra spice. It's regular ketchup but with more herbs in them. For those of you who don't know what it is. Not sure if it is a condiment that is also sold abroad, generally speaking. Sounds very tasty, mate. Sander, you really didn't have to use a super chat to get that message across, you know that. Thank you so much though. And eet smakelijk. Enjoy your breakfast. Jas, goedemorgen. Peter, goedemorgen. Flixoff is 14. Considerably younger than the average age here at AMS Live then. Stefan Tudor is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Nano, good morning. Captain Jerry Hattrick. Hey, Ramon is celebrating 4 months of membership due to gifted memberships. Well, that tells me that you are at least a regular viewer. Because I think you do need to be somewhat of a regular, usually speaking, in order to get those gifted memberships. A massive big thanks to the 4 people who have gifted Ramon his memberships. Hope you are enjoying the membership right now and the custom emojis, which of course there are 2 new ones. Finally, took a little longer than I would have liked, but Kaagbaan and vodka bottle. It was really hard to make vodka bottle because you could put all kinds of stuff on it in a bigger picture. But when you size it down to an emoji, it is very hard to retain detail. You have to simplify your emoji severely in order for it to be legible and understandable in the size of an emoji. But do feel free to use them. Next up, KLM Flight 736, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. That's 777-300. Mark H is 54. Marcel Vieselier, goedemorgen. 58. Steve-O, good morning. Wilma, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Floris, goedemorgen. Marijke Groenland, renewing her membership. Welcome back, Marijke. We kept your seat warm, and when it was warm, we kept your seat cool. It's good to have you back. Thanks for renewing your membership. This 777 comes equipped with a very flat, but not too small carrying cabin. It's more bulging, the cabin. On other airplane types, it's a very aerodynamic carrying cabin on the 777. And also a massive big thanks and congratulations to Maxime, aka Super Eminent 91, who is celebrating 2 months of membership. Red as a lobster, woohoo! Always nice to have you in our chat. Whether you are a member or not, I hope you'll keep coming back for a long time to come. Congratulations on 2 months. I hope it's been to your satisfaction until now. If not, do let me know what you feel needs to be changed and I'll see what I can do to make it better. Ariane, good morning. Rakete 88. Herzlich willkommen. Welcome to the show, everybody else who have joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the Kaagbaan runway 06, primary runway for arrivals. Lunzo, good morning. Laleinders, good morning, goedemorgen. Spotter, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Peter, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Justin, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. So, no 747s that I could see on flight radar underway that were expected before the Emirates A380. I do believe that Singapore was underway, but that's expected for late afternoon, if not early evening. Orange Pride is underway. Should be here shortly to 1. Arrival from the west. Should be landing here regardless. The Emirates A380, it's again one of those days where its ETA is around 1. When I looked this morning, its ETA was 1:05, and that would make it a candidate for 36 right later. If it makes up a few minutes, which it often does, it could land here on Kaagbaan, but it depends on its estimated time of arrival, so that's one to keep an eye out for. This is Transavia arriving from Verona. Next up will be KLM Flight 592, arriving from Johannesburg in South Africa. South Africa. Because we do have it again. Stream Deck is working again. Which means I can also say this. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're very, very, very close to 49k. We should be really reaching that at some point here in today's show. In the meantime, it is raining memberships in the chat. I could only see it peripherally while I was still filming, but it's a bombardment of gifted memberships. Mark H went ahead, started the whole cascade with 5 gifted memberships. Then Stefan Tudor chimed in with 10 gifted memberships. Captain Jerry also started gifting memberships, 10 gifted memberships by Captain Jerry. Then Stefan Tudor came back in again with another gifted membership. Mark H with another 5. Stefan Tudor with another 1. Incredible, guys. Thank you all so much. You really didn't have to do that, but thank you so much. That's a shitload of new members, courtesy of quite a few generous gifters there. If you are the recipient of a gifted membership, congratulations and have fun with the custom emojis now at your disposal for a month. Use them as a way to say thanks to the gifter. Don't forget to say thanks. Enjoy those gifted memberships by using those emoji. They don't come at a budget. You can use them without any restraints. So feel free to do so. A massive, massive, massive big thanks for all the gifted memberships that were gifted just now by Mark H, by Stefan Tudor, by Captain Jerry, by Stefan Tudor, and by Mark H and Stefan Tudor. Oh, guys, that is incredible. Thank you so much. You really didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. Also, congratulations to Stefan Tudor, who now has a green badge for a year. He has turned a 12-month member, means a green badge for him for the entire year. Congratulations, 12 memberships for our 12th boy. Thank you, he writes. Well, thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so much for your long-lasting support as a member. And also thank you for always coming in the chat and have some banter with us. It's the banter that Bobbers was referring to earlier. That's what keeps people coming back, and that's what I think makes this crowd so unique. Thank you so much, Stefan, for all the support. It's always a pleasure to have you in our midst. Even if you were to stop with being a member, I hope you will still keep coming back for a long time to come and give us a great time with your presence. As I said, the wind is blowing from the north, and runway 06, albeit the primary runway for arrivals, is not the best located, the best situated. There's crosswind from the left, and that means that the airplanes are crabbing away from us. Ordinarily, the airplanes are looking us more directly in the eyes, and you can see they're looking to their left, our right. They're looking away from us. That's not because they're mad at us and we're getting the silent treatment or getting ignored voluntarily, but it's just the wind. The proxy windsock, the Loxon flag over there, indicative of the crosswind that people are experiencing. The airplanes. The ETA for the A380 is 112, says Maria, so that doesn't look good. Another big bird is coming in. Air Canada Flight 900 arriving from Montreal, Canada. 6 hours and 5 minutes on the way. This is the Charlie Golf Hotel Papa Tango. Means it's a Canadian airplane without Quebec in the registration. So is it proper Canadian or is it not? I'm not sure. And Wolfgang says that Thai and Vietnam, the A350s are also both expected. That's nice. What times are they expected? Obviously 2 airplanes that are arriving from the east, so depending on their time of arrival, they'll either be landing here or on the secondary runway, which, depending on the time of arrival, will or will not be open. The other day we were very lucky here, seeing Vietnam. Thai went to the wrong runway. Jan, goedemorgen. Stefan Tudor, super chatting. Too many more years together. This stream is great because you are great and make us even greater spotters. Hip hip hooray. Cheers to us. Hip hip hooray to us indeed. Well, thank you for the kind words, Stefan. You really didn't have to use a super chat to get that message across though. Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear you're still enjoying. I hope everybody is. Don't forget to leave a like on your way in or out if you are enjoying the show. Next up, another KLM 777-300. The gear is extending. It's arriving from Cape Town in South Klaus, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Neuter is tuning in from Melbourne. Keep up the great work. Good evening, mate. Thanks for the kind words. Nice of you to say hi. If you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. If you're not so new to the channel and you haven't said hi yet, don't be afraid to do so. It's always welcome. It's always nice to hear where people are viewing from, who they are, where they're from, and if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask it. Regardless of the number of viewers, don't be shy if you do have a question. Quite a few people are watching and together know quite a lot. We'll happily try to answer any questions you may be having. Lunzo asks, until what time will you be live? Well, at least until the A380 will have landed, which should be shortly after 1. Inimini, goedemorgen. Justin, good morning. Justin is tuning in from South Africa. Or maybe he isn't, but just wanted to hear the sound effect. Either way, that's the way. I like it. Now, some of you might be thinking, that host, what a retard. And you're right. Absolutely, I am. Alper Aviation, good morning. World Cup final. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Isn't it what we would call the consolidation final tonight? The match for 3rd place. Son says ETA now 1:15, so it doesn't get better. That's a bit disappointing. They need to hurry the F up. Max. Maxime is tuning in from London. You may be wondering, London?
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
You know, London. Adi Leeuwen, goedemorgen kerel, good to see you again. Update on the cat, says Moria. Well, went to the vet yesterday and we're going to continue with the current medication for another week, and I'll be back at the end of next week for another checkup. Basically, we wanted to see if he's sufficiently stable or for the medication to be tapered down. The vet said he wanted to give it another week, just to make sure that that we're in the best possible place to see what happens if we're tapering down the medication dosage. So not much has changed. I was in and out within a few minutes. The waiting in the waiting room took longer than the actual consultation. Granted, he didn't even charge me for a consultation, just for the new strip of medication that I needed. Yeah, so not much has changed. I did remark that both Lisa and I noticed that he was seemingly a bit slower on the oral medication than with the injections that he had last week, but the vet said that is a common thing. It's apparently the same dosage, already a high dosage, but it's prednisone versus dexamethasone, and yeah, that apparently has a different effect and is commonly seen, so nothing to worry about. So yeah, just continuing with what we're doing for another week or so, and I'll be back. I'll be going in again on Thursday, late afternoon, to see how things are by then. Obviously, if things were to change in the meantime, I can always come back earlier, but let's hope it won't come to that. This is BA Flight 432, arriving from London Heathrow. One World livery. One World is a bit of a strange statement, since statistically there ought to be more worlds out there in the universe. Considering how many stars, galaxies and planets there are, you'd think it ought to be teeming with life on other worlds as well. LATAM Airways is coming up next. No, Airlines. LATAM Airlines. Arriving from Sao Paulo. And Vietnam might be visible on the downwind, says Wolfgang. I am looking to my left. Need to look a bit further back. I'm not sure what altitude the clouds are at. I thought they were at around 3,000 feet, and it might be that Vietnam is still in the clouds or flying over the clouds. Not able to see anything yet, though theoretically with good visibility it ought to be visible already. So I'm thinking the clouds are in the way. LATAM Airlines up next, flight 8078, arriving from Sao Paulo, 7879 Dreamliner, 10 hours 52 minutes on the way. This is the Charlie Charlie Bravo Golf Romeo, which is 5 years old already. First flight was in May 2021. I think that the clouds are in the way. Ordinarily over there you ought to be able to see the airplanes on the downwind leg, but I think that the cloud base is too low. and that the airplanes are too high still at that point. We are able to see 2 airplanes on the glide slope already. KLM flight 1352 is in the foreground. On the right, arriving from Prague, Embraer 190. And after that is China Southern Cargo, arriving from Shanghai in China. 777 freighter, 10 hours, 46 minutes on the way. Time is expected 11:55, says Wolfgang. Yeah, normally speaking that should be a no-brainer, and it ought to land on 06 that time of day. Irv, good morning. Flixav asks if I'm planning on making a 24/7 live stream. I don't think that is interesting for anybody to see. There are so many boring times of day here at Schiphol where the only thing that is happening is continually seeing these small Embraers, or nothing at all during the night, for instance. Schiphol is not the right airport for such a thing. Well, let's see, Air Baltic, and what did we see? That was Vueling. Thought in passing by I saw something more out of the ordinary, but guess it was just Vueling. Which to me seemed rather odd while still filming the rollout of the airplane in the relative foreground. China Southern Flight 453 arriving from Shanghai in China in 10 hours and 48 minutes on the way. The Bravo 20 Echo November. It's a 777 freighter. It's 6 years old already. First flight was in March 2020. Relatively clean flap surfaces, looking at these inner flaps. Did they go through the airplane car wash? Almost looks like it, doesn't it? Those duckies? No. Those are grebes. I think those are adolescent grebes. Right. What's the windsock doing now? That doesn't look too good, does it? If this is correct, it means that the airplanes are landing with near tailwind. Sure hope it's not true and doesn't influence runway use, because if runway use were to change, I think the most likely option is that they're going to close 06 and start using the 336 runways again, which means that the center runway will probably become the secondary runway for inbound and outbound traffic. The primary runway for inbound traffic should become the Aalsmeerbound 36 right, and the primary outbound traffic runway for outbound traffic then would be the Polderbaan. Good morning, Joey, and welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. Lufthansa, arriving from Munich, A319, Karen cabin in the back. K stands for Karen. Grumpy Chinese Triple looking us in the eyes from afar. Alright, A350 time once again with Vietnam Airlines Flight 83, arriving from Hanoi. 11 hours and 26 minutes on the way, the VNA886, Victor November Alpha 886. 11 years old, first flight June 2015. Let's look and listen. Oh, gamer, referring to the meme. Chances of being hunted by a 777 are very low, but never zero. Indeed. I'll drink to that. Hydration break. Another test to see what visibility and the ceiling are doing for seeing airplanes is KLM Flight 644, which is arriving from New York and ought to be visible, normally speaking, somewhere over there. It's probably going to make a right-hand turn any moment now. And normally speaking, we should be able to see it already. I think it normally would be somewhere above the hotel on the other side of the runway, the highway, but it's not showing. I think we have a ceiling. Ceiling around 3,000 feet, if I recall correctly. Why don't we have a look at the weather in a moment? Croatia Airlines A319 up next. While that is approaching, why don't we have a look at the latest METAR? Let me refresh the page. I'll also make sure to copy the METAR itself so that I can paste it in the ticker, but currently the latest METAR looks like so. So we have a ceiling at 3,100 feet and 3 layers of clouds starting at 2,000 feet, 2,500 feet, and then 3,100 feet. The wind is getting more westerly, which for runway 06 means the other way around. Cannot show you, but you can see there's crosswind from the left and also now tailwind. 10 knots of wind. It's not ideal. I hope that they'll keep 06 open. I wouldn't be surprised if that were to change at some point. Croatia A319 arriving from Zagreb. Pierre, good morning. Welcome to the show. Lujo, good morning. Zalurk, good morning, mate. Welcome to the show, one and all. Tarom A320 arriving from Bucharest. It's Avion Express flying on behalf of Tarom, which is an all-white A320. 2 hours and 40 minutes on the way. The Lima Yankee November Victor Juliet. 19 years old, first flight February 2007. Bernd, guten Morgen. And the sun is starting to shine at the coast, says Peter. Well, not here in the area where I am standing. Looking to the west. Doesn't look like things are more open over there than they are over here. Would be nice if the sun were to come through the clouds and start shining a little bit. Davy, goedemorgen, good to see you again. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are here at Kaagbaan, runway 06. At the moment, still the only runway open for arrivals. But for how long? Because it is almost 10:40, and lately, around 10:40, the secondary runway opened up for an hour of converging arrivals. Today, the secondary runway will be 36 right. This is KLM flight 741, which is arriving for Cartagena in Colombia, right next to a country called Ecuador. This is a 787-10 Dreamliner. 9 hours and 26 minutes underway. It's the PHBKP Bravo Kilo Papa. It's a year old. First flight was in May 2025, so that makes it a year and 2-3 months old or so, approximately. Mighty Bitey, good morning. Arun, good morning. Sunny East Sussex. Okay, so the sun is not too far away. Still a cool 18 degrees Celsius over here, just under a tad under 70 Fahrenheit. Jeans and AMS Live hoodie weather. Stimpy Slammer, good morning. 2 narrow bodies for the time being, and then another wide body. The Dreamliner arriving from New York. I tried to spot but wasn't able to. Not sure, can we see it already now? Not sure that we can. What we are seeing are KLM flight 1772 and Transavia flight 5680. Need 2 Embraer 195 and 737 respectively. Maybe things are a tad coolish. Let's see if we, oh no, that's no, new. Manual, set the color temperature manually. There we go, bit higher. I was going through all the presets instead of pressing on the manual color temperature button or whatever you call it. Nice. Karen cabin in the back. Other big Karen cabins. Unlike the 777s that come equipped with very sleek and thin Karen cabins. Alright, in the meantime, the Dreamliner from KLM is now visible. KLM flight 644, arriving from New York, being preceded by Transavia flight 5680. Let's see what else is coming. EasyJet, KM Malta, Lufthansa, Norwegian, KLM. It's all narrow bodies for the time being. In the meantime, Eric is also back in the chat. Eric is celebrating 15 months of membership. 15 months, time flies when you're following AMS Live. That rhymes. Congratulations on 15 months, Eric. And thank you so much for your long-lasting support. Hope that the lounge is still much to your satisfaction. If that's no longer the case, do let me know what you feel needs to be changed, and I'll see what I can do to make it better for you and the other members. Busiest flying out, having taken off from runway 22, which is interesting. They're landing on 06. The Busiest took off from 22 in the opposite direction, but we have seen that before. And Captain Jerry says you have to love an overcast glide slope indeed, or partly cloudy. I think perhaps is even better, because the current overcast glide slope backdrop does have a ceiling at 3,000 feet. And I think it does reduce visibility of airplanes a little bit compared to a bit higher backdrop. It is the KLM 100 years, hailing from 2019. An outdated livery. Pilatus PC24 is on final, approaching 36 right. Trying to see if I can spot it already. I'm not able to yet, but I'll keep an eye out for it. See if we can catch a glimpse of it while it is approaching. Our next airplane is over there. That's KM Malta Flight 394, arriving from, you guessed it, Malta. Rob Drop asks, will there be a carrying cabin with windows in the near future? Good question. Not sure that there will. I'm not sure if Karen needs windows per se. I think what she wants is seclusion from the rest. Not sure if windows are something she'd want. Liwa is celebrating 39 months of membership, and he is writing that the lounge is running low on that white powder. You mean sugar? Let me put it on the groceries list. I'll make sure to resupply the white powder in the lounge. Don't you worry, Liwa. Got you covered. Thank you so much for your 39 months of membership, mate, and everything you've been doing ever since you've become a very valuable moderator. I hope that both are still to your satisfaction. 39 months. That is 3 years and 3 months already. That makes Liwa one of the longest members of the channel. It's always a pleasure to have you in the chat whenever you find time to do so. I hope you keep coming back for a long time to come, mate. White powder has been put on the groceries list. Thanks for letting me know, Liwa. And thank you so much for your long-lasting support as a member in the lounge. Congratulations on 39 months, mate. Here's the PC24, which now looks a bit more crisp. Nice livery. I think we've seen this before on a few occasions already. Last glimpse. And the... Is it breaking away? I think it might. I think it might be. The Lou from Lufthansa. A319 touching down, coming in from Frankfurt. More membership anniversaries by iPatrick and by Bernd. 32 months for iPatrick, 32 already. Have a nice day all. And Bernd writes, thank you very much for the best picture. Stop. Thank you both so much, gentlemen, for your long-lasting support. I hope that everything is still to your satisfaction in the lounge, and if that's not the case anymore, do let me know what you feel needs to change, and I'll see what I can do to make it better. Patrick and Bernd, thank you so much, gentlemen, for both your long-lasting support. This was KLM flight 1918 arriving from Zurich, a 737-800. Next up will be an EasyJet A319 arriving from Edinburgh. And somewhere overhead, KLM flight 1002. But where? It's above the clouds, isn't it? What's its altitude? It's flying at 6,000 feet. Yeah, so means we cannot see it. Bit of a peculiar way to approach the runway. Assuming it is coming to the Kaagbaan. May also well go to runway 36 right. It does look to have opened up. KLM flight 1268 has turned in on final approach to 36 right. The first arrival, converging arrivals commencing. See that Michael is also back in the chat. Good to see you, Michael. Welcome to the show, everybody else. Anka, good morning. Next up, EasyJet flight 27838 arriving from Edinburgh in Scotland. I've got time to reach for the stream deck. It's arriving from Edinburgh in Scotland, of course. Wolfgang, thank you so much, mate. You really didn't have to use a super chat to get that message across. Congratulations, you count 49,000 subs. Well done, 1,000 to go. Well, it's a meaningless number, actually. It doesn't mean a thing. You don't get anything for it, but it is nice, though. It's a pity that most of the subscribers aren't watching anymore. But there you go. The only number that still keeps increasing here at AMS Live, the only statistic. Norwegian is up next, arriving from Copenhagen. Ludwig Holberg livery. How grumpy is he? That's the question. Yeah, pretty grumpy. That's the way we like it. A bit of a condescending smirk, if anything. At least that's what it looked like to me. Mak Wang, good morning. Fast Eddie, good morning. Elise, goedemorgen. Paul, goedemorgen. Freedom Muscle asks, is plane spotting your full-time job? No, it isn't. Nor do I think it ever will become it. Not here at Schiphol Airport, not with Aviation. That's not... don't think it's possible even to do so here. Royal Air Morocco arriving from Tangier, which is in Morocco in the north of Africa. Alan is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Fritz has to go. Ich sage tschüss. Bis nächste Mal. Bis bald. And schönen Tag. Royal Air Maroc, there you go. I like the livery. Nice and colorful. Mehmet is also back in the chat. He started gifting a membership just now to Stateman 2008. Congratulations, Stateman. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Mehmet, thank you so much for your generosity. Peter K is also celebrating. Peter K says, Jesus, 33 months already. 33 months and counting. Thank you so much for your long-lasting support, Peter K. Always a pleasure to have you in our chat, and I hope you'll keep coming back for a long time to come. If not as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. This is WestJet, allegedly the best jet, arriving from Halifax in Canada with a MAX 8 737. The first banana of the show is on final. Third arrival here. After WestJet and KLM behind it. Again, Peter K, thank you so much for your long-lasting support. Congratulations on 33 months. 3 more months before a new badge will be awarded to you. The Sunshine, Gradient, Orange Pride, whatever is the most common name for it. The 3-year badge with the color Gradient. And Mehmet just now gifting another membership. It's now G Dada who is the recipient. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, G Dada. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet and enjoy the membership and the custom emojis that come along with it. KLM flight 1404 is arriving from Paris, 737-800. With a big spacious cabin cabin in the back. Royal Air Maroc, WestJet in the background, vacating the runway area, taxiing to the gate. There is a narrow body over here on the cargo apron in the foreground, and it's not. What's the one cargo airplane with the black and yellow? I think it was. There's always there used to be a 737 here from what's that company called again? Not DHL. UPS. That was it. It's not UPS. It's something else. And Bernd, thank you so much. A cold drink especially for you. Good job. Mate, I need hot cocoa. I've actually resorted to using the fingerless gloves again because otherwise I think my hands would get a little too stiff with the 18 degrees C and the... I'll have a coffee instead if you don't mind. To warm the hands. Thank you so much, Bernd. You really didn't have to do that. Thank you so much, though. ASL, indeed. Now, this is DHL. Not ASL, but DHL. Arriving from Madrid. 1 hour, 55 minutes on the way. This is the DAEAS. 31 years old. First flight September 1994.
Shit!
See that Jeff has also returned in the chat. Coming in with a membership anniversary, 19 months of membership. Imagine I wrote something funny here. Well, that is a bit of a stretch, mate. Let me think. Good to see you again, mate. Hope you've been well. And thank you so much and congratulations on 19 months of membership, Moopsie, aka Jeff. Always nice when you're here in the chat. Keep the banter coming. How that everything in the lounge is still to your satisfaction. If that's not the case, do let me know what you feel needs to be changed, and I'll see what I can do to make it better. Jeff is a member for 19 months now. That's 5 more months before another badge will be awarded to you, a blue one. Again, thank you so much. King of the Nerds, says Davey. There you go. That's a nice nickname. Small airplane over there. Should be followed by a somewhat bigger airplane. This is KLM flight 1828 if all is well, on number 175, arriving from Stuttgart. Oh wait, no, that's already the bigger plane. There's the smaller plane. So what I thought was the Embraer is the A330 actually. Now, on Flight Radar I can also see the Lifeliner coming back this way. It's, I don't think it's visible just yet, but it is looking to be coming this way, slowly but surely. It's 10:52, converging arrivals have begun. That means that all inbound traffic from the east is awarded. Runway 36 right, everything coming in from the west should be coming to runway 06 still. The Orange Pride is underway and should be here in 2 hours from now, approximately. Last time last time you guys checked the ETA of the A380, it was around 1:15. What's the current ETA? Is it getting worse, or has it gotten a little better in the meantime? That was KLM flight 1828 returning to Amsterdam from Stuttgart. Long distance headshot of DHL just now, but it's already turning in. Parked far away from where we are standing. In the meantime, Peter K went ahead just now, gifting memberships, 5 of them, no less. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 5 new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Peter K if you are the recipient of one of his gifted memberships just now. Have fun with the custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. There are still 34 for you to use. They don't come at a budget, so use them without any restraints. Have fun with them. Peter, thank you so much for your generosity, mate. You really didn't have to do that. And a warm welcome to the new members. KLM A330 arriving from Toronto, KLM flight 696. Current ETA of the A380 is 1:22, says Maria, so it's actually losing more time than making up. That's a pity. Can't be helped. It is what it is. Captain Jerry wondering who is this slowly but surely. Dr. Drax, good morning. Let's see, Lifeliner underway. Yeah, but where? Where is it? What's its altitude? It's at 450 feet. Oh, I think I have it. It's going to be passing on the other side. It's behind the trees right now. Or it just entered behind the trees from the right, but it will reappear in a moment. Lifeliner 1. There it is. So this is an Airbus H135 Papa Hotel Tango Tango Romeo. A 9-year-old helicopter hailing from 2017. It does have a tail rotor. I think most of the Lifeliners nowadays do. I do recall a time where we also had Notar helicopters. Helicopters with no tail rotor. Instead, airflow, an exhaust airflow perhaps, or... Nah, probably isn't an exhaust airflow that they're using on the Notar design. Either way, I'm digressing. If it is returning to base, which it looks to be, it's going back to the Westport area, the port area west of the city of Amsterdam, which is where it is currently located. It used to be at the one of the 2 academic medical centers that Amsterdam has, on the rooftop of the hospital. But a few years ago, it had to move to the port area due to noise abatement. Henk, goedemorgen. Jozil, good morning. Tuning in from Uzbekistan. Awesome. Welcome to the show, mate. Aegean is arriving on the glide slope to 36 right, arriving from Athens. Delta Airlines flight 162 is approaching, but still on the downwind. It will have to fly base and final first, so will take a bit longer before we'll get to see that. I think that the E2 Embraer arriving from Brussels will be first, though you never know for sure. Either way, this is Aegean flight 3624, A321neo, arriving from Athens, which normally would take around 3 hours, and yeah, flight radar confirming that. 3 hours and a minute the current flight time, so that is absolutely nominal, the average flight time. A G in the house pretty soon. Last glimpse. And gone. Erik, goedemorgen. René, goedemorgen. Davy says Belgian Federal Police flies Notar helis, but they are being replaced by H145Ms soon. Why are they replacing the Notar helicopters, Davy? Is that because of an inherent flaw with the design, or just because they are outdated and they're ready to get renewed? Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder if there's something with the Notar design that the users are opting to move away from them. Don't know that much about helicopters, but I imagine there must be a good reason for them not to keep using them. Paul, good morning, mate. Delta looks to be continuing to 36 right, unless it's going to do a strange almost 360 right-hand turn. I'm thinking Delta 162 is going for 36 right. Age, says Davey. Well, there you go. Yeah, Delta flight 162 is lost to us. It's going to 36 right. Next arrival is an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Brussels. Makes you wonder why the Delta is continuing further south. Are they changing runway use, I wonder? Qatar flight 8160 also seems to be moving in a somewhat suspicious... No, wait, I do believe... Yeah, that does seem to be coming back towards the glide slope of the Kaagbaan. So it seems that only Delta is continuing further south. Dr. Drake says Noter can't handle the Belgian roads. Well, they're not much wobbly when you're airborne, are they? Yeah, runway inspection is also what I'm thinking, Wolfgang. Polka Puck is also back in the chat and he writes, hey, good morning you all, while celebrating 21 months of membership. Polka Puck, good morning, mate. And congratulations on 21 months of membership. I hope that the membership is still to your satisfaction. If that isn't the case, do let me know. Feedback is always welcome. Almost 2 years, 3 months still left. They'll be gone before you know it. And you'll be getting a blue badge then. Congratulations and thank you so much for your long-lasting support, Polka Puck. 21 months and counting. Theo, goedemorgen. Let me see, can I get back to the end of the chat? I think I am, yeah. Right, well. I'm wondering where the inspection, if there is an inspection going to happen, where it is taking place. This is H1 if I am not mistaken. No, it's C6. Well, it's better than C4. But I don't see any vehicles on the runway. There's no bird control over here on this side of the runway, nor do I see anything further up the runway. Makes you wonder why the Delta is not coming to runway 06, but instead going to 36 right. Maybe they asked for it specifically. Maybe they have a good reason to do so. Maybe they didn't feel like landing with slight tailwind and a bit of crosswind. C6 is entering the end of the RISA. New. Turning. They saw the sign. They thought, whoa, this is a RISA. No. Best move away from it. And quickly. Another VW. They're quite ubiquitous here at Schiphol. With the exception of the Raptor Rangers, I think most of the vehicles that you see over here, airside, are VWs. Gerard, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Well, there you go. Flores is saying that the Notar helicopters are being phased out because the system is less aerodynamically efficient, consumes more fuel, and provides less control authority in crosswinds compared. So, compared to conventional tail rotors. Furthermore, the specialized design is costly to maintain, and the bankruptcy of the main manufacturer, MD Helicopters, severely disrupted parts availability. Well, there you go. From Doha. Flight 8160, 10 hours and 7 minutes it was underway from Panama City. Nicely using the reversers there. The Alpha 7 Bravo Foxtrot Victor, 6 years old, first flight June 2020. We have a CRJ 1000 up next. It's flying parallel to Delta Airlines Flight 162, the one that's getting away. Looky here. Not just any CRJ, but this is a CRJ 1000, Iberia Regional, operated by Air Nostrum. Looks to be all white. Almost all white, with the exception of a few small labels. Arriving from Madrid, 2 hours and 3 minutes away. Nominal flight duration, Mitsubishi CRJ 1000, the Echo Charlie Lima Papa November LPN. 14-year-old machine, first flight January 2012. Courtney and Eli coming in the chat saying, hey, hello there, thanks for the membership. Nice of you to say thanks. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge in the membership lounge. Enjoy the custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. Have fun with them. 14-year-old machine, this one. First flight January 2012. Boom. And there's the Delta that landed on 36 right. Long distance headshot from a 777 over there. You can see that the swans and their 6 young ones are still here. So I arrived here and started setting up. They arrived here from my right hand side, and after grazing here in the water a little bit at the intersection, they started going into what I would describe as the side canal. They came from over there. Over there we have Ita hiding behind the building. A319 arriving from Milan. Air Canada coming this way. Air Canada flight 808. Bank robber livery arriving from Toronto, Canada. 7878 Dreamliner. 6 hours and 34 minutes on the way. Good morning, Kennisnetje. Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Roy. Good morning, Schiphol-fannetje. What's with all the usernames being small? Converging arrivals in full progress right now. Indigo is flying base to runway 36 right. Corendon World to Fly is also doing the same, but for the glide slope to this runway. Delta Airlines Flight 74 arrived from Atlanta, Georgia is on the left, and on the right we have KLM Flight 1070. That's number 190 arriving from Southampton. Are we able to see the World to Fly Corendon A350, I wonder? Already, I mean. Obviously, we will see it soon enough. What's its current altitude? 3,800 feet. That would make it be above the ceiling. So the answer is no. No, we're not going to be able to see it yet. A couple of lads on rent-a-bikes, public transportation rent-a-bikes, cycling towards the approach lights. Probably trying to be in time there for the A350. Mevrouw Patat, goedemorgen. Luca wonders if the Orange Pride livery is coming in. It is. Should be here in an hour and 40 minutes. Why don't we have a quick look in a moment? If we head over to flight radar, let me also enable the right filters, less clutter. I can show you the airplanes of interest in a moment, preparing it. But first we're going to film the arrival of Delta Airlines Flight 74. Here it is, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. It's an A330-300. 8 hours and 9 minutes on the way. 19 years old, first flight January 2007. It is the November 815 November Whiskey. Maxime has to go. Start cycling. Nice. Enjoy your bike ride, Maxime, and thank you so much for joining. Enjoy the day and see you in the next one, hopefully. Aditina, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Before Patat asks about the cycling path for the polder, next to the Polderbaan. If I am not mistaken, it was closed until yesterday. It's I think it ought to be open as of today already. Well, I figured everybody and their mother will be going to the Polderbaan instead, so let me go over to the runway with the arrivals. Here we have the World to Fly Corendon A350. What a looker it is, isn't it? Second A350 of the show, the first one being Vietnam Airlines. World Flight Corendon is arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, flight 5990. It is always a Spanish registered machine. This one is the ECNZF, November Zulu Foxtrot. Flight time has been 8 hours and 55 minutes. The airplane's age is 3 years, hailing from May 2023. And I see that DB Baseman is also back in the chat. Good morning, DB Baseman. Perfect weather in Eden this morning, he writes. Is that so, mate? Well, over here, as you can see, it's overcast. Typical Dutch weather, I would say. 18°C or so, just a tad under 70 Fahrenheit. Now, I'm actually thinking I might be feeling 1 or 2 drizzly droplets. What? Was predicted the possibility of 1 or 2 droplets. Martin also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Happy Saturday. Karsten also tuning in aus Deutschland. Herzlich willkommen. Schönen Samstag. Ja, drizzly droplets. Hope it doesn't interfere too much with visibility. Converging arrival still in progress. The next arrival is KLM flight 1136 arriving from Dublin in Ireland, and that gives us a moment to have a quick look on flight radar for the inbound traffic of interest. The orange pride is coming, but it's now expected to be here around 1:03. Arriving from the west, should be landing on the Kaagbaan regardless of runway use, and the Emirates A380 is flying over there, still a few miles away, and 2 hours of flight still remaining. 1:18 is now the current estimated time of arrival. If it doesn't get too wet, my plan is to stick around until those airplanes will have landed. This is KLM flight 1136 arriving from Dublin in Ireland. It's an Embraer 175. Flights from Dublin to Amsterdam usually average around an hour or so, and that's no different today. 1 hour and 3 minutes thus far the flight time. The Papa Hotel Alpha Echo X-Ray November. 9 years old, first flight May 2017. In the meantime, it looks like Pegasus is approaching 36 right. Arriving from Istanbul in Turkey. Hey RDW, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated when people tell us where they are from. If they have a question, if you have a question, feel free to ask. Don't let the number of viewers deter you from asking any questions you may be having. Might be that you're new to Schiphol Airport and have questions about the airport or otherwise. Don't be shy. Feel free to ask any questions you may be having. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like. Your likes will help to bring in more viewers in the future, new viewers who don't know the channel yet, but who would love to join us in future live streams. KLM flight 982 up next, arrived from London City, and you might be wondering, London? Yes, London.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
It's now about 10 o'clock. And this is the Herpa German Airways flying on behalf of KLM, returning from England, from London. KLM flight 982. London Amsterdam usually averages around 40 to 45 minutes of flight. This particular flight 37 minutes. Bit on the short side. Herpa going viral with itches and scratches for 75 years already. And the world to fly, Corendon A350 in the background. Lovely. Good morning, T-Mac. Guido, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. Embraer 175s are approaching both runways now. The one arriving here is arriving from Luxembourg, flight 1710 from KLM. Flight 1816 is arriving from Frankfurt and is on final 236 right. Behind the Embraer 175 on final on this runway, another Embraer 175, which is arriving from Glasgow in Scotland. Flight 936. Two Embraer 175s, there they are, both in view already. M. Huegi03 says, Goedemorgen, love your channel, greetings from Switzerland. Thank you so much for the kind words, mate. Happy to hear you're enjoying the show, and nice of you to say hi. Are there many viewers from Switzerland here in the chat, by the way? I know of a few from Germany and Austria, of course. How is the Swiss representation? also not many Spanish and Portuguese in the chat, are there? There are more Brazilians than Portuguese in the chats usually. That doesn't mean that they're not viewing, but maybe they are a bit more silent. Historically, after the Dutch, the Brits and the Germans are the most regularly viewing. Americans and Australians after that. Lately, Belgians are viewing the channel more and more. I think those are the primary nationalities, other than the Dutch, that are watching the shows the most. Annemieke, goedemorgen. And Annemieke sees she received a membership. She writes in Dutch. She doesn't know who it's from, but she is thanking the gifter. I wonder, it will probably be, we will be able to, you are able to find out who it was, but you'd have to look back in the chat and see whose gifted memberships whose gifted membership it was. It's a bit of a hassle, but it is doable. I'm not saying you should do that, but it is possible to find out. Unless it didn't happen today, but for instance the day before yesterday, because then of course you'd have to look in the stream of that day. Those Belgians, says VWMBE. Is that BE for Belgium? Another Belgian viewer. Next up, KLM flight 676 arriving from Edmonton in Canada. A330-200. David says, I don't know much about Switzerland, but their flag is a big plus. You're absolutely right, mate. It certainly is. Last time I checked. DNKHA34 says, greetings from Germany. Orange Pride on the show today. Yes, it will be. It will be shortly after 1 o'clock. Orange Pride should be here shortly after 1 o'clock. Doesn't my chat want to go down exactly? Oh yeah, there it is. Anne is tuning in from the US, hoping to see my boyfriend's departure on Delta Airlines flight 163 today at 12:40. Well, it shall be taking off via the Polderbaan, and so that means it's not going to be very close by, unfortunately. I spy with my little eye. Sonnensekei coming this way. Check it out. Sonnensekei is coming this way. Well, Anne, if you would be so kind to keep me posted as to the whereabouts of your boyfriend's Delta flight, I will try to turn the camera in the way of the runway he's taking off from later. It will be a bit of a stretch to see, but we will be able to see the airplane depart before it hits the ceiling at 3,000 feet or so and vanishes into the clouds. But if you guys would be so kind to keep me posted as to when the airplane is actually starting to roll and is taking off, then I'll do my best to film it. Shouldn't be a problem. dressed in a t-shirt. Have you? Oh yes, you have brought a vest along with you. I was just about to say, I already have my fingerless gloves on again, but then again, I do get cold hands rather quickly.
I was getting out of my car, I was like, what the hell is this? Drop this?
Yeah, same here. I'm happy that it didn't come, that it didn't go through too long. I did bring an umbrella with me, but I was on the way here and I forgot to take an additional towel with me for the lens, so I would have to resort to using those paper thingies, which isn't optimal, but don't think that the lens got significantly wet, so I'll just use the lens pen once it's dried up again. Good morning from Sander, to Sander from Wolfgang.
Good morning, Wolfgang.
Right, it is an Embraer 190 now, KLM flight 1030 arriving from Chester. After that, EasyJet arriving from Bristol, A319. Is that a new one or have you fixed the old one?
That's a new one.
This is a new one.
It's supposed to be.
Higher weight capacity? Or an improved design?
Better quality of plastic.
Plastic fantastic, you know what it's like. How have you been otherwise? Yeah? Yeah, same. Mr. DL says, by the looks of it, there is a nice rain shower coming. Is that so? Rain shower? Here? Sure hope that's not going to happen. This is EasyJet flight 25530, arriving from Bristol. It's an A319. E2 Embraer 195 behind it. Embraer 190 behind it. Behind that, it's narrow bodies for the time being. I am looking at the flight path of KLM flight 1216. Because it is 11:28 already, so I'm wondering if the secondary runway is still open or if it's closed already. I think it might be closed, which means that everything inbound should once again be coming to runway 06 until approximately 1 o'clock. Hey Kees, goedemorgen. Ronaldo, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody else. So, Orange Pride is underway. It should be here. Well, what was it? It's now approaching the British Isles, but still over the Atlantic. 1:03, its estimated time of arrival. This is, in case you're wondering, this is Jesus. Registration GEZUS, going from Chester to Verona. Jesus will not be blessing the Netherlands today, or at least not now. And the ETA of the Emirates A380, 1:22. I'm going to stick around until it has landed. Even though it is going to land on runway 36 right, almost certainly. Unless something really unexpectedly is going to happen. Here we have an E2 Embraer 195 with a nice Karen cabin in the back. Mikey asks, Jesus lives? Yes, certainly he does. Quite a few birds over there in the canal, actually. Most of them are swans. 6 young ones and 2 parent swans. Unfortunately, The secondary runway is not yet closed. We can see the KLM 1216 is still on final to 36 right, and a jet will probably still follow. It's all narrow bodies coming in to both runways for the time being, so we're not missing out on anything. There is hope. John Spuok is also back in the chat. Happy Saturday to you too, buddy. Hope yours has been great thus far. Yours is almost over already. Ours has just begun. Another special livery. This is the DTM Deutsche Tourwagen Meisterschaft special livery. Touring Car Championship. I do find it interesting that DTM apparently is sponsoring and promoting their races, or at least their existence on an airplane. Makes you wonder, are the viewing numbers that low? Or meanwhile, Sander has set up his big lens on his what should we call it? What is the? Is it a tripod? Is it a? That is a tripod. What's that thing that you? What do you call it?
Different names, but it is a gimbal.
Gimbal. That's the word I was looking for. And you can also attach your phone to it. I see.
Yep.
Nice.
Multiple. There's a hole behind this tape and one here, so I can like put like that. And
Put wires through, or?
No, just attach.
Oh, more threaded. Yeah, more attachments can be mounted, and a big ass lens. Now the question: are you here for the plane spotting or for the bird spotting? Depends. That's far.
As I was walking over here,
Yeah.
I heard some seagulls make a lot of noise,
Hmm.
and they were chasing a kestrel for its prey.
They were trying to take the kestrel spray away from it.
They took it. But she dropped it,
Oh?
and they was like, "We're getting it."
What was the prey? Did you see?
No, it was too small.
Probably a mouse or something then.
Mouse, rat, whatever.
So, seagulls chasing after a kestrel to take its prey from it. Right, well there you go. Nature is a bitch. Alright. Wolfgang is giving an update. Delta Airlines Flight 163 is delayed until 1:25 at the moment. That's a bit unfortunate. Let's see, in the background we have a 777 turning in. That's KLM Flight 682 arriving from Vancouver, Canada. Here in the foreground we have a 737-700 arriving from Paris, KLM Flight 1406. A jet arriving from Istanbul is on final to 36 right, but somewhere where I cannot see it yet. Ah, Sander found it. Yeah, in the vicinity of trees. You're always hiding. No Karen cabin on this 737-700. Karen will have to sit with the plebs on this one. Good morning, Mikai van Toor. And good morning, Sherween. And Diamond Painting Teun. Goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Sander has taken the camera and the lens off of the tripod and gimbal and is now venturing towards the... he's going to take a dive. He's going for a swim. Morning cardio, just like Chris could. few young lads over at the approach lights over there on their OV-fietsen, the public transportation rental bikes. You can rent these bicycles at the station, at train stations in the Netherlands. Though I do believe you need to have a NS Dutch Railway subscription for it. I don't think you can just head over there and rent those normally. If I'm wrong, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear so. So if I'm uttering nonsense, do correct me by all means. Might be informative for people who are from abroad who might want to visit Schiphol one day. From what I remember, you need to have a subscription of the NS, the Dutch Railway organization. This is KLM flight 682, arriving from Vancouver, Canada. It's a 777-300, 8 hours 29 minutes on the way. Papa Hotel Bravo Victor Whiskey. The VW is coming to town. 5 years old, first flight January 2021. Mats, morgen. Izzy, good morning. From a cold and winter Sydney night, local time 7:36 p.m. Well, good evening, mate. Here it is summer, but the temperatures aren't very summery, to tell you the truth. Over here it's right around 18 or so degrees Celsius, just a tad under 70 Fahrenheit, for those of you who are used to using those. Michael DCA is also back in the chat. Good to see you. Olaf, good morning. Olaf says hope to be able to come visit in August. Looking forward to that, mate. Bring some sunshine and warm weather along with you, because we definitely could need that. And Floris is confirming that indeed you need an OV card, public transportation card, and have a subscription for the bikes itself. Subscription costs 1 cent a year. Oh, that's a formality. Bikes are about €5 for 24 hours, and the max is 3 days. That's very useful information, mate. Thanks for letting us know. I didn't know that, but there you go. If you ever are considering coming to the Netherlands and want to get around and cycle instead of using an Uber, this might be a good alternative. Sparta Rotterdam, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Welcome to the show, everybody else. This is KLM flight 1174, arriving from Stavanger, Embraer 175. Now the silver lining of having weather like this is that my equipment will probably not overheat that quickly, which I suspect is what happened when I was here the day before yesterday. It was cloudy and pretty cool all throughout the show until almost the end of the show, when all of a sudden the sun started to shine and it started to get really hot here as well. It also looked like the wind was dropping. I did not have Lewis umbrella attached to the camping table to protect the gear from sunshine. I guess that the laptop tent itself did not provide enough shielding or blocked too much wind to get the equipment cool. Then all of a sudden things started to hiccup. My chat window is not completely to the end or too small. Now, I think now it's good. Brian Andy is also tuning in, once again, tuning in from New Zealand. Sounds like your day is like ours was here in Christchurch. 16 degrees for early winter, which is good for us. Oh, that's definitely comparable to what it is over here right now, mate. Delta Airlines is coming. Let me see what the latest meter says. I'm renewing it as we speak. Yeah, temperature is very stable here at 18 Celsius. I am copying and pasting it as we speak. Right, if you pay attention to the ticker, you will now see the new meter report, the weather report, which gets updated here twice an hour, 5 minutes to the hour and 25 minutes past the hour. This one is from 25 past 11 local time, the 18th, 9:25 Zulu time, which is universal time. The wind is 10 knots from 330 degrees. The wind direction is variable between 290 degrees and 360 degrees. Visibility is 10 kilometers or more at ground level. That's the 9999. We have 2 layers of clouds, few clouds at 2,500 feet, broken clouds at 3,500 feet. The air temperature is 18 Celsius, the dew point is 12 Celsius, and the air pressure is 1,016 hectopascals. That's the QNH. No SIG means no significant changes are expected in the upcoming 2 hours. Quickly back to Delta Airlines, flight 144, arriving from Seattle, Washington, A330neo. I think my chat window did not update just now. I do see now that my Mats, aka Mike Alpha Tango Sierra, celebrated 19 months of membership, and I also saw that Anne just now became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. So a massive big thanks to Mats, aka Mike Alpha Tango Sierra, for your 19 months of membership. No accompanying text along with a highlighted message, but that's okay. It's always nice to have you in our midst, and I hope you'll keep coming back for a long time to come, mate, and everything. I also hope that everything in the lounge is still to your satisfaction. If that's no longer the case, do speak up and let me know what you feel needs to be changed, and I'll see what I can do to make it better. And also a very, very warm welcome to Anne9084, who just became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Thank you for the vote of confidence. Feel free to use those custom emojis that are now at your disposal. They don't come at a budget. There are no restraints in using them. In fact, the more creative you can think of ways to use them, the more fun they get. So make sure to do that, Anne. And if you need to know where stuff is in the lounge, ask around, because many have gone before you and will happily show you the way. This is KLM Flight 972, arriving from Humberside, and then Embraer 175. My chat window is still not all the way down and to the last message. Copy the URL, paste it, reload the page, go from top chat to live chat, zoom in a little and try to scroll down. It's not working yet. Now it is, yeah, I think, yeah. Font looks big enough, and the chat seems to be updating, so I do think it's no longer stuck. I think it worked. Pete, what up, mate? Good to see you again. Senna, goeiemorgen. Joost, goeiemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the Kaagbaan, runway 06, right now, once again, the only runway for inbound traffic. I'm joined here by Sander Sake, who is busy working on setting the tripod and what should we call it? I keep forgetting the name. Gimbal. I somehow have trouble remembering the word gimbal. Optimizing the gimbal. This is Transavia. A Transavia 737, which is returning from Spain, Valencia. A jet in the background. Gilberto is also back. Ciao, mate. Equilibrio Mind, tuning in from Nijmegen. Goedemorgen. More Transavia's coming in. As is Thai Airways. Thai Airways A350 is on the downwind and normally speaking ought to be visible somewhere behind the data centers or whatever they are. Well, not yet, but obviously with the clouds, the cloud ceiling, it's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to see it yet. It will need to be much lower than it currently is already. Clouds are interfering with our visibility, but that's okay because we will still see it on final. It's coming to Schiphol, to the Kaagbaan. Already we saw the A350 from Vietnam, now Thai as well. Don't know about you, but I could definitely go for a Thai curry right now. Oh yeah. He was great minds think alike. There you go, another proof of the saying. You do know that in Sassenheim we have a very, very good one. Exquisitely rated Picole. It's not a restaurant, it's just for picking up stuff, but it is it's exquisite. If you're ever in the vicinity of Sassheim and you're peckish, if you look at the reviews, it's almost exclusively 5 stars. It's really great. Alright, Transavia up next. Transavia over there. Arriving from JMK, which is Mykonos. Just Mykonos, JMK. JMK, just Mykonos. Don't know where the J comes from, but joke. Joke Mykonos. After that, the second A300 of the show. The lights are already visible. It's over there. It's arriving from London Luton. And you may be wondering, London? Yes, London.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Alright. I'll stop being a...
Retard.
I promise. In the meantime, I see that Mats just went ahead and started gifting memberships. 5 memberships courtesy of Mats, aka Mike Alpha Tango Sierra. Mats, dankjewel. Thank you so much for your generosity. You really didn't have to. Thank you so much for doing it anyway. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, to the new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Mats and enjoy the custom emojis now at your disposal. One of the new emoji is Karen Cabin. Now Transavia almost never, I don't think, well maybe I think they never come equipped with Karen cabins. Smoke, smoke, smoke. No. Wi-Fi is not it's not something.
For a short flight.
pretty soon you'll have to pay for the air that you breathe.
Sun you receive.
And the sun you receive, yeah. Wonder which will be the first country to start taxing sunshine. I see you've got a tan there, sir. That will cost you. See, you've been exposed to some sunshine, eh?
Did you pay for that?
Did you pay for that? All right, Bombardier. No, not Bombardier C-Series. I keep thinking that because it says BCS here, BCS 223, but it is of course DHL. A300 arriving from London Luton, flight time 37 minutes. This is the Delta Alpha Echo Alpha Kilo. Deke. Deke is 33 years old already. First flight October 1992. What were you doing back in October 1992, Sander? I was in elementary school for another 2 years or so. Probably had just begun learning English the year prior, or maybe in that year. Hey, sunshine. What? Is the sun coming out? Is the sun coming out to play? Not sure if I can afford that, all that sunshine. Wolfgang says Ryanair is asking a fee if you use the emergency oxygen. I'm not surprised. Peter is leaving, going to the Zwarte Cross. Enjoy, mate. Hope you'll have a great time there. The next stuntman. So news about the stuntman at the Zwarte Cross has also journeyed to New Zealand to Maria. It was on the Dutch news yesterday. Apparently there was a stunt guy who catapulted, who let himself be catapulted. He would land into a fluffy pillow. Apparently his legs, he hit the pillow a bit off axis, and his legs crashed into his head and caused a concussion, and for him to lose consciousness for a brief moment. But he was back at the Zwarte Cross yesterday already, getting interviewed by the news. He did have another stuntman take his place, but he was feeling fresh and fruity except for the concussion, he said.
Oh, his legs hitting his head. He's pretty flexible then.
Yeah, well, I've also had that. I once had a concussion of one of my ribs when doing the leg press and lowering too quickly, too deeply, with my knees hitting my chest. People can sometimes be their own worst enemy. Well, the sun is coming out now. Uh-oh. I hope the stream won't freeze. DHL indeed coming this way. Long distance headshot. Second grade in high school already. Learning French and German. Did you enjoy your high school period? I had great fun with my friends. I'd happily go back and do it all over again with the same crew. We already quickly had sort of a reputation for being shit starters. Hey, Thai. Could go for some Thai. A350, flight 936, arriving from Bangkok. 11 hours and 11 minutes on the way. The HSTHB. and touchdown. That was the Hotel Sierra Tango Hotel Bravo, 9 years old, first flight July 2016. And Paul found the shirt and tie emoji. I didn't even know we had one, but apparently we do. Very appropriate attire. I'll get me coat. Don't be a
retard.
Alrighty, up next is KLM flight 924 arriving from Eden in Scotland. TUI Max 8 behind it, arriving from Ohrid. High Flights with Ponique says hi everybody to you too. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the show everybody else who may have joined. In the meantime, you're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, this is Kaagbaan, runway 06, primary runway for arrivals, and right now the only runway in use for inbound traffic for another hour or so until approximately 1 PM local time, after which runway 36 right will open up again. The Orange Pride is expected in just over an hour from now. It's arriving from the west and should be landing here on this runway regardless of which runways are open for inbound traffic. That's not the same for the A380, unfortunately. It is underway still, but will be arriving here after 1 o'clock, around 1:20. And since it is arriving from the east, that means it's going to the secondary runway, which will be the Aalsmeerbaan, runway 36 right, if all is well. Frog in my throat, that means we need a hydration break. At the same time, 777 getting pushed back, so I'll drink to that. Stream deck working again. Was an update of the Mac OS, and apparently, so Gemini AI told me there were two boxes I needed to check to allow both EHAM and the Stream Deck software access to a local network or something. After that, everything was working again. Whatever. Never up till this point did I have any problems with it, so... Yes, hydration break, vodka bottle, indeed. One of the new custom emojis. I need to take more drinks. Drink. Alright, this is KLM flight 1088, arriving for Cardiff, Embraer 190, no carrying cabin in the back by the looks of it, or new. GE90 is being started. You can probably hear that. First of the two triple engines Starting. Hey, it's the grumpy Chinese. Is that the same grumpy Chinese as that landed here earlier? Not sure. There aren't that many airplanes at the cargo apron right now to begin with, so I'm thinking it probably is the same. You can only see Emirates, DHL, and Qatar. Next up, Vueling, flight 8309, arriving from Barcelona, A320. H1 bird control van is coming this way. More VWs. No Karen cabin on the back of this, but there is a certain dot. The dot is still in place. Oh, oh. Interestingly, the wind is coming from the other side, so you'd think that if the airplane were to lean in against the wind, it would be leaning in to its left. Instead, it looked like the wind was catching the bottom end of the airplane and was pushing it up a little. Maybe I'm just misinterpreting what I'm seeing, but it was leaning to the right. The wind is from the left, so... KLM flight 604, arriving from LAX, is now number 2 on arrival, being preceded by KLM flight 984, arriving from London City. And there are a few openings, bits of blue starting to become visible here, every now and again. There's also why on one or two of these earlier airplanes we did see the sun shining on them. Going from one end to the other, sunshine and rain. It is one of those days again. Right, time for the wide bodies. It's KLM flight 601 to take the first spot, and behind it, a bit further back, but already visible, is KLM flight 758, arriving from Panama City. Here in the foreground, 78, 710, and behind it is a 777-300. KLM flight 604 is arriving from LAX, Los Angeles. 9 hours, 41 minutes on the way. It's Papa Hotel Bravo Kilo Kilo. 5-year-old airplane, first flight December 2020. Here again, brief glimpses of sunshine. Makes the airplane look that much more vibrant. Ooh. Yeah. You know what time it is, don't you? Now we know why the spatial separation between the two wide bodies on arrival. just in time before our next arrival were to come too close. This is KLM Flight 758 arriving from Panama City. 777-300, 9 hours 46 minutes underway. The Papa Hotel Bravo Victor Victor. 5-year-old machine, first flight December 2020. Reversers? What? KLM? No, that's not a KLM pilot. That's a rental pilot.
That's a Delta in disguise.
Delta in disguise. That's a nice way of putting it. I think you may be right there. Emirates Sky Cargo should be over there somewhere. Flying downwind. Normally speaking, we ought to be able to see it already. And it is definitely opening up just a tad, but I don't think the ceiling has cleared enough yet for us to see all the downwind traffic. It needs to descend a bit more before we'll be able to see it clearly. By the time that will have happened, it will be too far away. So let's just continue filming what we can see best, which is the airplanes that are on final. The sun is starting to shine a little bit. Maybe I do need to lower the white balance a little. Just a smidge, bit cooler. Alright, it's time for the Embraers again to take the lead. It's an Embraer 190, followed by an E2 Embraer 195, followed by another Embraer 190. It's all KLM. 1788 arrived from Hanover first. 1020 from Leeds up next. And after that, KLM 948 from Belfast. And after that, an A320neo from EasyJet from Nice, which is nice. One of the ETAs is on the move, and still one getting pushed back. Yep. Both ETAs are once again on the move or about to be on the move. KLM Flight 1020 up next, arriving from Leeds. E2 Embraer 195 with a carrying cabin in the back. Another Delta A330 has just turned to the southwest. Delta Airlines Flight 136 is flying downwind. It should be over there somewhere. And again, it's not yet visible. It's one of those days where the clouds are a bit in the way of seeing all the approaching airplanes when they are still further away. Right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 airplanes on the glide slope, and the fifth one is flying base. That was the Embraer 190 arriving from Belfast. Here's our Chinese triple going around the southern threshold of the center runway on its way to the Polderbaan. EasyJet arriving from Nice, which is nice. This is an A320neo flight 27954. Oreo. Sorry? 124, the ETA of the A380. That nicely coincides with the estimated time of departure of the flight to, where was it again? Delta 163, if I recall correctly. Oh, that's Minneapolis, isn't it? The last airplanes of the day then. And the Orange Pride's ETA? What's that? Should be here in around 45 minutes or so from now. This is a MAX 8 returning from Ibiza, the party island. 101. So the Orange Pride is making up some time and the Emirates A380 is losing some. MAX 8 737 arriving from Ibiza. Flight 1164 up next, arriving from Bergen. How about we do a little visualization of where the remaining airplanes of interest are currently at. So, looking on flight radar, we can see that the Orange Pride is flying over. Is that still Scotland or already England? Either way, it's over there. And as someone was already mentioning, ETA 101. Here above Austria we have the Emirates A380 124, its estimated time of arrival. They're approaching. KLM 737 arriving from Bergen, flight 1164 with a carrying cabin in the back. Right, Delta Airlines is starting to get too late for me for today then. If its estimated time of departure is now 1:45. I also have to be places later today, so I cannot stick around for too long, unfortunately. Emirates Sky Cargo is up next, arriving from Aguadilla, flight 9914. It is a 777 freighter, 8 hours and 6 minutes on the way. The airplane is a year old. That means it is going to turn 2 somewhere in the remainder of the month, because its first flight was in July 2024. So I'd say it is 2 years already now, but if it still says 1, that means it will only be for a few more weeks. Nice Emirates with this, the ribbon tail. And as one Emirates is arriving, another one is preparing to leave. It is poetic. Good day to Wilco BC, tuning in again. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, it's time to get rid of the Emirates with the old tail. Make room for the ribbon tail. Get with the times. Yin is also back in the chat. Good to see you. As is Martin. Goedemiddag. Welcome to the show, everybody. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory to say hi, but it's always appreciated when people tell us where they are from, who they are. If you have a question, feel free to ask. Many people are watching and together they know quite a lot. Don't be intimidated by the number of viewers. If you do have a question, feel free to ask. Don't be shy. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. It will help to bring in more viewers, more new people in the future. Let's turn around. Delta is approaching now. Delta Airlines flight 136, which is arriving from Detroit, Michigan. DTW. Mac also back. What up, mate? 7 hours and 30 minutes on the way. The November 417 Delta X-Ray. This particular airplane is 4 years old. Its first flight was in February of the year 2022. Yin is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Still wheeling, and there's the main gear touchdown. The wake. A twin Emirates shot. It's a face-off. They're facing each other. You are welcome, and I'm sorry that I am not going to be able to film your boyfriend, unfortunately. Had they departed as per their schedule, it wouldn't have been a problem. More car speak in the chat. Talks about focus and civics. Huh? Ooh. I can feel that I've trained my quadriceps 2 days ago. I'm standing here doing, well, what do you call it? I'm flexing my legs a little. As you can see in the foreground, in the canal, the swans are still there. The swans and their sons, the swan sons. Not sure. Wombat Parade is also back in the chat. He is celebrating 18 months of membership. Always a great stream. Thank you, boy. He writes, you're welcome, mate. Thank you so much for being a long-standing supporter of the channel by being a member for 1.5 years already. Congratulations on that, mate. I hope that everything in the lounge is still to your satisfaction. If that's no longer the case, do let me know what you feel needs to be changed, and I'll see what I can do to make things better, mate. Congratulations, Wombat Parade, on 18 months of membership, and thank you so much for your long-lasting support. Jero is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Transavia up next. Arriving from EFL. That was Kefalonia. Kefalonia, Greece. Flight time 2 hours 48 minutes. Papa Hotel, Yankee Hotel Bravo. 2 years old, first flight June 2024. And the sun is starting to shine here. What? Come on, it's summer over here. You can't have any sun here. Hey there, Mervin. Mervin is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. So yeah, not sure what's going on here, but there is a yellow orb over there somewhere. It's shining on us. It's providing sunshine. That means that a shady figure, which the camera is unable to go to because of the high point of the sun in the sky over here. Well, maybe I can wave. Yeah, just a little bit. Tripod legs in the way of the camera pointing further down than I tried to do just now. Which means that the sun is still pretty high up in the sky over here. I think this time of year, at its peak, it's still above 60 degrees above the horizon. Contrary to the shortest day of the year here at 52 degrees northern latitude, when it doesn't get above 15 degrees. 14.3, I think. Big difference. 54 right now. There you go. And still climbing probably. Yeah, it's still climbing. The number is increasing. Current altitude of the sun 54 degrees above the horizon and still climbing. We'll probably top off at just below 60 or so, because we're already getting shorter days here. So the sun is already receding a little. Well, better that the sun is receding than my hairline. Don't be such a
retard.
Mac is also celebrating a membership anniversary, 4 months of membership. Thank you, boy. And thanks to all our awesome mods. You're absolutely right, mate. Thank you, mods, as always, for keeping the chats friendly and accessible. Big part of why the audience is so nice is because the mods are also making sure it is a welcoming place to be nice in. Congratulations, Mac, on your 4 months of membership. I hope they have been to your satisfaction thus far. If not, do let me know what you feel needs to be altered, and I'll see what I can do to make it better. This is Transavia, arriving from Corfu. What the fuck? What the Corfu? It's the Peter Pan Vacation Club livery, which I think organizes vacations for children with illnesses or handicaps. I wouldn't want to call this a good looking livery, but it's definitely one that stands out. Cheyenne, goedemorgen. And Garuda Retro outbound on radar, says Wolfgang. If you would like to keep me posted as to its whereabouts, mate. I think there's a banana having been pushed back over there. That's also outbound. The Retro Garuda will probably be leaving before 1, so we'll take the center runway most likely then. That should allow us to get a nice shot from behind. Hey, Gary Grebe is over here. Mother ducker. He's also making the noise over there. Gary Grebe, you mother ducker. Bloop. And away he goes. What? Cameras pointed at me? Screw you guys, I'm going under. My name is Gary Grebe. I'm quack years old and I can do a submarine. Kablink! Next up, Tap Portugal, flight 668 arriving from Lisbon. That's an A320neo, not being flown by pilots but by tap dancers. Iceland Air Flight 500 is a MAX 9 today. Third for arrival here. Sandwich in between TAP and Iceland will be a KLM E2 Umbrella 195. Peter Pan, says Rob. Hopefully not, mate. Peter Pan. Hey, check it out. Lise de Buizer back in the chat. What is up, Lise? Did you succeed? What? Did you succeed in taking a good picture of Gary Grebe? Gary Grebe, the mother ducker. Well, as you can see, there are families here, young kids, people over there as well. It's quite clear that it is a school vacation period here in the Netherlands. I would have thought it would have been very calm over here because probably everybody is going to the Polderbaan, everybody and their mother, but nope. What are they all doing here? It's not where the A380 is going to land. Well, howling, Wookiee howl, whale sounds, whatever you want to call it. Somebody farting.
You
Yeah.
really bad to make that noise.
Me after having eaten a can of beans. Greetings to the ground crew from Lise. Hey, nice.
It was in
Semi-submarine mode.
yeah.
It's the submarines that the drug cartels are using. Semi-submerged. Got 2 airplanes on the glide slope. Icelandair Flight 500 up here in the foreground, the Max 9 737, and behind it is an A330 KLM Flight 767 arriving from Bonaire. Icelandair with a Karen cabin in the back. Max 9 737, 2 hours 25 minutes on the way. That's a nominal flight duration. The airplane is 7 years old. Its first flight March 2019. We've got 1 banana ready to cross the runway. The question is, when will it begin? Probably after the A330. And Wolfgang says you need a submerged sound. That's the best I can do, mate. That's the best I can do. Yeah, we need the sound effect for Gary Grebe. That's the only one I've got. Right. We've got an A330 here on final, and after that the A300 will most likely cross the runway. So this is KLM Flight 767 arriving from Bonaire. 8 hours 58 minutes on the way. It's the fucka, as in how's your mother, fucka? PH, aka the fucka. 14 years old already. Alright, you guys ready? Here we go. Garuda next on center, says Wolfgang. Thanks for the heads up, mate. In that case, let us turn the camera towards the gap between the building and the commercial sign on the left, because it is there that the center runway is positioned. An airplane is taking off from it, will emerge from behind the trees in the middle of the field of view. If all is well, the Garuda Retro is lined up over there and will be taking off pretty soon. Obviously, we'll make for a nice viewing, so we'll keep the camera pointed in that direction until it becomes visible. Retro Garuda Indonesia. Oh, a cheater snuck in. Well, over here it's just a barrage of 737s for the time being. Though we have to be quick because there will be a lot to see pretty soon. It's 12:35 and that means in half an hour from now the KLM Orange Pride will be landing here. There's the cheater on Cheaters Lane and you can see that even the departures have crosswind from the left. It's crabbing out and turning to the east. Right, so if all is well, then next should be Garuda Retro. That would be nice to see. Hey, hier go, goedemiddag. Super Mirella, goedemorgen, middag. Was a KLM 737 arrival from Billund that you heard in the foreground passing by. Alright. Garuda Indonesia Retro lined up on the center runway, which is right behind where we are pointing the camera. So I'm expecting it to become visible pretty soon. Now there is always a lot to see at Schiphol and lot flight 263 is arriving from Warsaw. Not too far away anymore. Yeah, we can definitely hear it. Yeah. So we've got auditory confirmation of the Retro Garuda rolling. A lot to see also here at Schiphol Airport. Oh, it's looking polished. It's looking polished. Such a shame. Cannot show everything all at once. I can only zoom out briefly. Yeah, that was looking polished, didn't it? Wasn't it? Here we go. Nice Karen cabin in the front over there. In a different color. Oh. That was me bumping into my tripod. Retro Garuda with a lovely retro stripe right in line with the cockpit windows. Always a sleek looking machine. It will have to turn a bit more to the right for us to see the stripe continuing to the cockpit windows, but I fear it may also run into the clouds at some point, not too far from now. Not too long from now. Shamrock in the meantime, flight 604, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Yeah, it's starting to get pixelated, but there it was. And here is Aer Lingus Shamrock, flight 604, returning from Dublin in Ireland. Swans still there, they are. The Swans and their sons, the Swansons. So check it out, it's quite a crowd over here. Groups of people that have gathered here further towards the approach lights here, closer by. Me and Sachtler, of course, are seated over here, but if you look back to the beginning of the grass field, there are even more people and approaching as well from the right. it's quite interesting to see such a turn-up, considering that the A380 is not going to be landing here. Maybe they're all fans of the Orange Pride. It should be landing here pretty soon, but not yet. Looks like a relocation flight. This is KLM 9936 arriving from Cardiff. That usually is an indication it's a relocation flight. It doesn't have a formal flight number, just KLM 9936. Embraer 175 arriving from Cardiff. After that, EasyJet with an A320neo arriving from Alicante. Infinity also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. No carry cabin on the back of this Embraer 175. Cathay A350 on radar 2, says Wolfgang. Well, it is only 20 minutes to 1, so unless they hurry up, they might well be assigned to the Polderbaan for their departure. Hey, is there a propeller, a privately owned Daher TBM 960, American registered, arriving from Birmingham. It's on final to 36 right. Oh, and there is the privately owned propeller driven airplane. This is the November 1569 Charlie, arriving from Birmingham, and this is a Daher TBM 960, 2 years old, from 2024. Severely distorted by building and exhausts. In the foreground, have a look at this. It does look like it is a machine with a retractable gear. Or is it a fixed gear? Is it retractable? Nice. We'll probably do a breakaway, won't it? We're not going to be able to see it. Hey, is that Chris Good with little cootlings? Where? Oh yeah, baby cooties. Feed me, feed me, feed me. Yum 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 yum. Well, there you go. Razor013 also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Kevin, good morning. Alright, time to turn back the camera. Transavia is up next with an A321 Neo, and behind it a 777-300 arriving from Lima in Peru, which is right next to this is Transavia flight 6022 coming in first from MJT, which is Mytilene. Right, where's that? Do you know, Sander? Mytilene. It sounds Greek, but I wouldn't also be surprised if it were a different location. So it sounds Mediterranean. Let's keep it very broadly generic. 3 hours and 10 minutes on the way to get here, so that definitely makes it be possibly Greece. The airplane a year old, 1st of February 2025. Turkish assigned to Kaagbaan, says Maria. Which Turkish is that? Squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak. Those are young coots. Ah! So Turkish flight 1957, which is now crossing into Dutch airspace. Still assigned to the Kaagbaan. That is good news, since it is 1:45, and by the time Turkish will be arriving here, it will probably be just past 1 already. Mytilene, the Greek island of Lesbos, says Paul. So we have Lesbos and Lesvos as well. I didn't even know. Was a typo, or was it? Then again, I wouldn't be surprised if there were 2 islands that would only differ 1 letter. Ambulances, 2 of them, back to back. Usually 2 ambulances are always called when a resuscitation situation is happening. Now have a look at how many people there are over there already. So here, several groups of people over there. Quite remarkable. Alright, so Turkish still assigned to runway 06, that's nice. This is KLM flight 755, which is arriving from Guayaquil. Guayaquil is a port city in a country called... In a country called... You got them right. Lesvos and Lesbos is the same 2 spellings. Okay, that's interesting. Well, boy and voy aren't the same. It's just boy with B. I'll tell you that. I'm not so liberal with my spelling. Very rigid. I don't think I've seen so many people over here other than when Air Force One was parked here on the premises. Are people getting sent away from the Polderbaan by the Schiphol authority? Crazy. Right, 2 more airplanes visible on the glide slope. KLM flight 1354 is in the foreground. At its 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock is Delta Airlines flight 164, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's an A330neo. Hey, Voy, gotta go, see you later. Screw you, Lisa de Vuizer. Hey, Jendrusik is also back in the chat. Long time no see, mate. Popping up quickly, being super busy lately, or whether being too hot or to go out, and now getting ready for holiday to Bali on Monday. Ballen, man. Such a bummer. Well, at least it's good to see you're back in the land of the living. Your absence was definitely noted by me. Good to hear you've been busy and not injured or sick otherwise. Enjoy your vacation, Jendrosek. And all the best to Lorenzo. Right, this is KLM flight 1354 arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. Yeah, a lot of rubber deposits in today's show, huh? Quite remarkable. More people getting in here on the action. More cyclists coming here as well. Absolutely crazy to see the number of people that are coming here today. Makes me wonder, are we missing something special coming in that I don't know of? Stefan also has to go. He says, have a lovely day and a great stream. Thank you so much for joining, mate. You have a lovely day as well. Ah, it's more rent-a-bike chaps. Or maybe the same. Delta Airlines Flight 164 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. A330 Neo. Let's look and listen. Lots of hearts and tulips and other flowers as well by Daddy of Obi-Wan Cat and Krypton Husky. We know him as Evan Rodriguez, one of our longest standing members, and he is celebrating 38 months of membership, 3 years and 2 months in the pocket. Mate, congratulations and thank you so much for your long lasting support. It's always a pleasure to have you in our midst. And I hope you'll keep coming back for a long time to come. If not as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. Top of the morning, Senor Rodriguez. Congratulations on 38 months. And thank you so much for your long-lasting support. How have you been, brother? Hope all is well. The Cathay A350 is now number 3 for center still. Says Wolfgang, thanks for the heads up. If it is the next one to take off, let me know. Definitely one to keep an eye out for. This is KLM Flight 1502 arriving from Madrid, an A321 Neo. Behind it, KLM Flight 1270 arriving from Copenhagen, a 737-800. Karen cabin in the back. You also have the fuck F, but that is an A330. Papa Hotel Alpha Kilo Foxtrot. Fuck off. Danny tuning in from Enschede. Good afternoon, mate. Let's turn back to the center runway then. The Cathay A350 1000 is lining up. I'll take a quick drink to that. Small hydration break. KLM Flight 1270 is going to be landing here in the foreground first. 737-800 arriving from Copenhagen. The Cathay is going. Perfect. Bring it on. There it is, the Cathay A350 crabbing out on its departure. Cathay Pacific A350 1000 going to Hong Kong, flight 270. Initiating a right-hand turn already. Lovely machine. Right, big picture overview. This is what things look like to the north, and I have to say that the clouds over there do look a bit darker than the rest of the clouds do. This is looking to the east, this is looking to the south, and this is looking to the west. Red nose, BA. BA flight 434 arriving from London Heathrow. And you may be wondering, London? Yes, London.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
Okay, then flight 1818 is going to be next after this, with another wide body behind it. Okay, then flight 1818 is arriving from Frankfurt. It's number 175, and behind it is Delta Airlines flight 236 arriving from Tampa in Florida. The gear is extending on the Delta. Nice to see. And close the hatches again. There you go. One gear extended, ready for arrival, ready for landing. Oh. Flock of geese. Hard to estimate where they are versus the airplane. They seem to be too far. Yeah. It's happened before on numerous occasions. Bird strikes close to the airport. It wouldn't be the first, nor would it be the last. I prefer not to see them. Hey, the KLM 100 years on a roll again. Next up, Delta Airlines flight 236 arriving from Tampa in Florida. A330 Neo, 8 hours and 49 minutes on the way. This is the November 403 Delta X-Ray. It's a 6-year-old machine. First flight was in July 2019. Cannot be too far off anymore, too far out. 67 minutes? What? Yeah, I see it on Flight Radar. It just has turned southwest, and it should be flying over there somewhere. Normally speaking, without the ceiling, we ought to have been able to see it already. It's flying downwind, but too high for us to see. Still coming this way, so, and Turkish is also still coming this way. Yeah, that's too high. That's too high. High as a kite. Well, at least too high for us. Turkish is also approaching from the south, where it is a bit more open, and I am able to show you. The Turkish A330 on downwind is visible over there. So things are a bit more open to the south. There's Turkish. More cyclists here as well.
Those are the three that were here earlier.
Okay, well Have a look at how big the crowd is of people over there. I don't think, other than when when Air Force One was here during the NATO summit, that I've ever seen so many people here on a weekend day. Absolutely bonkers. E2 Embraer 195, Karen cabin in the back. Hear the turbofan whistle. And the 100 years taxiing away in the background, briefly visible still. Let's see, this is KLM Flight 1176, an Embraer 175 arriving from Stavanger. And two more airplanes visible over there already. Air Transat is the one best visible. That's an A321neo arriving from Toronto. And behind it, on its left, is KLM Flight 1754 arriving from Hamburg. Hamburger. Orange Pride is turning in, yep. Continuing to descend, slowly but surely will get visible. Cool. Next up, Air Transat, the A321. Turkish will be first. Cool. The Orange Pride will have to wait. Hey, and this is Air Transat with an FC Montreal sticker. Okay, Predator bird sounds coming from the speakers of the bird controller over there. That's K3. Air Transat with an FC Montreal sticker on it. I think that's going to be a first for us. Let's have a look. Hey Alamin, good afternoon. Good to see you, mate. All's well on my end. Hope that also goes for you. 7 hours and 11 minutes, the flight time. 2-year-old airplane. Let's have a look at the sticker. Air Transat with a sticker of FC Montreal. There you go. Floaty, floaty. Touchy downy. Wouldn't have been the first time that we were going to see a go-around. Turkish just has turned in, says Sander. There it is, yeah, and the gear is extending. Turbulence of the airplane before it, in ripples, nice to see. And the hatches are closed again. Can you also see the ripples? If you look at the A330. You can see the, or at least just now, up till just now, you could see the ripples of turbulence by the preceding airplane. Now no more. But that was a nice visual effect. Oh, yeah, another ripple. And another. It was really cool to see. This is Turkish flight 1957 arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. It's an A330-300. Flight time for Turkish... Well, flight time for flights between Istanbul and Amsterdam, more generally speaking, are around 3 hours. So too for this flight, 2 hours 58 minutes according to flight radar. This is the Tango Charlie Lima Oscar Alpha, 12 years old, first flight December 2013. The Orange Pride will be next after this. Boom. Nose gear touchdown. Quickly turning back. KLM flight 622, the Orange Pride, the PHBVA. First flight January 2008. Arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Flight time has been 8 hours and 4 minutes as we speak. The rest we all know by now. Most regular viewers will know the BVA. First flight January 2008. The same as Chucky's, or at least the airplane formerly known as Chucky. This one is old enough to vote. It came in as flight 622 today from Atlanta, Georgia. Is the Emirates A380 already in Dutch airspace, I wonder? Can already see that KLM flight 1800 arriving from Düsseldorf is going to the secondary runway, so... Well, it will be assigned to 36 right, undoubtedly. Here it is again. Twice this week now. KLM Orange Pride. Its flap surfaces immaculately clean, as they almost always are. There you go. Orange Pride back in the house. Wind seems to be picking up a little bit. Maria confirming that the A380 has been assigned to the Alsmeerban, as expected. Right. Orange Pride vacating the runway. Wind is picking up a little bit. Let's have a quick look at the weather report. At least I'm going to copy paste the latest meter in the ticker. Which is becoming visible now. So quick look in the ticker will tell us the latest weather report from 5 minutes to 1. So this is 15 minutes old. 14 knots of wind from 310 degrees, mostly northerly wind, northeasterly wind, with wind direction variable between 280 degrees and 340 degrees. Visibility on ground level is still 10 kilometers or more, 9999. View clouds at 2,600 feet, broken clouds at 4,100 feet, air temperature 19 Celsius, And the air pressure is still 1016 hectopascals, no significant changes in the upcoming 2 hours. We're waiting for the Emirates A380, which will be the last airplane for today's show. It is in Dutch airspace now. It has been assigned the wrong runway as expected. Converging arrivals in progress. Everything arriving from east is going to runway 36 right, and everything arriving from the west will be coming to this runway still. This is Transavia flight 5952 that we're now looking at, arriving from Lisbon in Portugal, an A321neo. 2 hours and 14 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel Yankee Hotel Echo. It's a brand new airplane according to Flight Radar, and that means it's less than a year old. It's from July 2025, so it should be turning 1 this month and no longer have the brand new label. Zooming out a little bit on Flight Radar to see what else is coming this way. It looks like it is narrow bodies o'clock once again. 737s, A320s and the likes. Sky Express in the background. I think they're still claiming that Greece is bliss. Of course, we know better. Martin has to go. Thank you for joining, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Oh, Lisa's favorite, the Flixbus over there in the background. Bright green, instantly recognizable as such. Looking in the direction of the glide slope, it does look like there is a bit more brightness over there. This is KLM flight 1420, number 190, arriving from Nantes in France. On its left, almost at its 9 o'clock. KLM flight 1512, which is arriving from Barcelona. That's a 737-800. There's another Transavia A321neo behind these two, somewhere. Undoubtedly lower towards the horizon, if possible to see. Which I'm not sure that it is. Don't think it is already. Let's see, Emirates is flying towards Lelystad still. They're following the default route, which is first flight towards Lelystad, then towards the southwest, just like KLM flight 1218 is doing already. That's usually how they get directions, get vectored to the runway. Slowly but surely it's making its way over, and in the meantime we have plenty of airplanes, albeit mostly, if not all, narrow bodies to kill the time with. This is KLM flight 1420 arriving from Nantes, Embraer 190. Air France up is the airplane flying it on behalf of KLM. Flight time has been 1 hour and 3 minutes. It is an Embraer 190 long range, the Verhable. Foxtrot Hotel Bravo Lima Echo. 18 years old already, from October 2009 this one. Which makes me wonder, when did Embraer 190s first see light? How old are the oldest Embraer 190s? 18 years for this one, 2007. And for some reason I'm thinking this is pretty old already. Maybe I'm completely wrong. If I am, do let me know. If you guys know or are able to look up when the first Embraer 190 started flying. I'm curious, not sure. It's 2007, 18 years ago. That sounds like maybe it was the beginning stages back then. In the meantime, a pushback in the distance. Qatar has been pushed back, a Qatar 777. You can see the leading edge of the wings is still smooth. That means that the flaps and slats have not yet been set. And that means that the engines are still in the process of starting. Satori is tuning in from cloudy Edam. Here in Schiphol it is also still mostly cloudy. Here and there were a few openings, but they were short-lived, and now, right now, looking around me, it does look like a continuous cloud deck once again. Michael says 2004's first flight, I think. So there you go. That means that the Air France Embraer 190 from 2007 is relatively new. Mervyn also chiming in. First Embraer 190 was 2004, I believe. Follow-up question then. When was the first Embraer 175? In the meantime, let me have another sip of vodka to both quench my thirst and make sure I stay hydrated adequately. Only one 747 did I see here this morning, and that was a KLM 747 cargo that was moving away again before I even got a chance to film it. I just arrived here and had begun setting up when I saw it crossing the runway.
First Embraer 175, June 15, 2003.
2003, so the Embraer 175, a tad older than the Embraer 190. There you go. Transavia A321neo arriving from Alicante in Spain. Next up, another A321neo, but from KLM and arriving from Chester. KLM flight 1032. Arriving from Chester, A321neo, 46 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel Alpha X-Ray Hotel. The airplane is a year old. First flight May 2025. Meanwhile, the Emirates A380 has been directed to the southwest a bit earlier than the rest, it seems. Flying a bit more southeasterly of where the airplanes before it are flying. Stars on the move. You can see that the slats, the leading edges of the wings have lowered. The 777 has a perfectly circular fuselage, or at least the front view is perfectly circular. Qatar waiting for the next arrival, which is Transavia flight 6224 arriving from Malaga. Will it or won't it? I think it will. Next up, KLM flight 1450, arriving from Toulouse with nothing to lose but to lose. The typical geared turbofan whistle. You'll also hear this when the A220 passes by. These two airplane types have related engines, not exactly the same, but they are related to one another. Let's see, Emirates is in a place where, normally speaking, we ought to be able to see it already. It's now just south of the Loosdrechtse Plassen, as they're called, the body of water just north of it. It's still too high for us to see, I think. I think that the clouds are still in the way. I'm trying to see if maybe at some point it is going to make an appearance between the clouds. The cloud level is rising, the ceiling is too. Not yet, not yet. In the meantime, Air France is approaching the threshold over here. Bombardier C-Series 300, A220 arriving from Paris. Any visual on the A380 yet? Not yet. Well, let's start turning the camera in the direction of where it is going to make an appearance pretty soon. It's probably behind the building over there. If I recall correctly, that's usually where they are in the sky when there is good visibility. Last bit of the base leg. I do see something coming this way, but that's not it already. Visual, yeah, visual on the A380. We've got visual confirmation. There it is. Emirates flight 147. Well spotted, Sander. There it is. Emirates flight 147. And you can see it's starting to turn base. No, it's starting to turn final, actually. And is that the nose gear already extending? I think it is. There, the gear is out, or at least the gear is in the process of extending. And the building just in the way. The tail, we've lost it. It will make a reappearance in a few seconds from now, probably. There it is. Left or right of the aircon? That's now the question. The building, a bit to the rightmost aircon, I think. It's above one of those air conditioning units now. Do you have it, Sander? Sander also has a visual on it again. The gear's out, Emirates Flight 147. Last airplane of today's show, ladies and gentlemen. Arriving from Dubai. 7 hours and 4 minutes on the way, just like it was the day before yesterday. This is the Alpha 6 Echo Yankee A. And A is 12 years old. First flight March 2014. You were coming back just in time for the A380. Well timed, mate. Toetje Toby. Toetje Toby. Holy timing. Holy timing, Batman. Oh, somebody in the way. Emirates Flight 147 arriving from Dubai, now number 10 on flight radar, tracked by 833 people. Flight time 7 hours 5 minutes. The Alpha 6 Echo Yankee, 12 years old, first flight March 2014. There is a small carrying cabin in the back, or at least it looks comparatively small, but it's probably quite a big one. Now we can see that the building is in the way. Massive amount of distortion. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, just as acutely, boom, clear view again.
Just to see how much heat a roof.
Well, I'm not sure if it's just the roof or if it is exhausts as well. I wouldn't be surprised if there were exhausts over there as well. Regular rooftops don't radiate that much heat waves, normally speaking. Right. Now we wait for the rollout. indeed on its way to G9. Golf 9 is where it normally stands. Mercedes 380 having landed safety here. And on that bombshell, it is time to end. A massive big thanks to all of you for joining me here today. I had a great time and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Massive big thanks to Sennheiser for joining me here as ground crew. Gezellig as always. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on your way out if you haven't already. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, if you want to be informed of upcoming live streams. Massive big thanks to everybody for joining. Thanks for the likes, thanks for the super chats, the super stickers, the gifted memberships. I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership today has already said or will still say thank you to the gifter. Enjoy the membership. And massive big thanks to all the mods as well for keeping the chat friendly and accessible again to everybody. You guys are all rock. You guys all rock, and what makes this channel so great. I will see you again in the next one. And for now, I say enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe and see you soon. Bye for now, guys.